I can't hear anything. Should I?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so then prior to opening the meeting, I just want to turn over, because we do not have an acting chair at the moment, we would like to elect an acting chair. So I'd like to turn it over to our committee members to vote on an acting chair for this meeting. Do you have any nominations?
Who's here today?
I accept the nomination if that's okay.
Sorry,
Brian, can you hear us okay?
can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm having you're breaking up on me quite a bit, though. Holly, are you here?
I am.
So is Holly going to act as chair today then?
Well,
No, because
Sorry, you're okay. Just you're all breaking up, like your audio is very scattered coming over.
Michael, can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I have no issue.
Okay. Look, Brian, it might be a tech issue on your end. I think Michael can hear us okay.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know if maybe you want to jump out of the meeting and jump back in to try and reset things from your side.
Or stop the video, perhaps.
Right.
It's taking too much bandwidth.
Okay.
Stop the video.
Brian, feel free to jump in again if you can't hear us, and we'll try to repeat ourselves just so that you're fully.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. But then again, just to reiterate that we need to elect an acting chair, and I believe we have a nomination. I just want to confirm.
I don't think Brian heard that.
I'm open to anybody acting chair.
So then we have nomination for Rebecca.
I'll second that.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm happy to help chair the meeting.
Okay, so then I'm just going to pass this on to you. Just the speaking notes. Just for the first page. And then if you wouldn't mind just opening the meeting formally and then you can proceed.
Absolutely. So good afternoon, everybody. I would like to formally open this committee of the adjustment meeting for February 22nd. Thank you, everybody, for attending. I do have some announcements regarding procedures, which I'll give before we get started into the meat of things. So applications before the committee of adjustment are assessed by the 4 tests to be met in granting a minor variance. The committee may grant an application if it is satisfied that the application or proposal, number 1, is minor. Number 2, is desirable for the appropriate development or use of the land, building, or structure. Number 3, maintains the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaws. And number 4, maintains the general intent and purpose of the official plan. Committee members each individually review the application and individually undertake site visits and individually form an opinion. Committee members then assemble at this meeting to render their decision. Barbara Calvis, Secretary Treasurer of the Committee of Adjustment and Director of Planning and Development, will review any comments received on the application and also provide the planner's assessment of the application. The applicant or their agent are then asked if they would identify themselves and then like to speak on the application. Anyone from the public are then asked if they would like to speak on the application after identifying themselves. Committee members may then ask questions, make statements of opinion, followed by their decision, which is voted on by committee members. The decision of the committee may be to grant the application as presented, grant the application with modifications or conditions, or reject the application. If the application is granted, there is a 20-day appeal period from the date of the decision where an application can be appealed to the local planning appeals tribunal. If work is proposed to commence prior to the ending of the appeal period, the applicant can consult with planning staff regarding an option to enter into a conditional building permit with the township. So those are our procedures, but I recognize I read out the wrong name because I was reading from a sheet that did not have the right name on it.
Yeah, I printed off 2 sheets that specifically corrected it, that it is either myself or Sarah who you should be contacting, but for sure not Barb.
Yeah, not Barb. So again, that's my mistake for reading from the wrong. So that said, the next step on our agenda is to adopt the agenda. Would someone? We have a motion from Jane. Can we accept? Everybody in favor? All in favor? The agenda has been adopted. The next section says disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Is there any comments to that effect?
No.
Moving right along, the next thing on our agenda today is to go back and adopt some of the Committee of Adjustment meeting minutes from the previous meetings. We have minutes from, I guess we'll go through them one by one. So the first one is March 30th, 2023, Committee of Adjustment meeting minutes. Any,
I'll move to those.
all in favor? Excellent. So our meeting minutes from March 30th have been adopted. Then the next meeting is from July 27th, 2023, Committee of Adjustment meeting minutes. Again, the motion.
I'll second.
Seconded, excellent. And then finally, there was the November 2023 Committee of the Adjustment meeting minutes from last November again, which we can also again move and seconded to be adopted. So excellent. Thank you for preparing those and including them for us there. So on to our next, our main item of discussion today. So public meetings. For everybody in attendance, if any person other than the applicant wishes to receive further notice on the application, please again leave your name and address on the way in. That's for anyone online as well. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to ask Michael if he would like to go ahead and give us the planning department feeling on this application.
Sure. So just to summarize the proposal and a bit of background of the application, the subject property is located at 1385 County Road 2. The property is approximately 1.68 acres in size and is developed for dwelling and has a water course that runs along the southern property line. The purpose of the application today is to vary the township zoning bylaw to permit a 167 square meter garage in the defined front yard. Regarding relevant policies, the proposal aligns with the policies of the provincial policy statement, the county's official plan, and the township's official plan. For minor variance applications, the County Act requires that 4 tests must be satisfied, which are: the variance must be minor in nature, be desirable for the appropriate development or use of land, building, or structure, maintain the general intent and purpose of the zoning bylaw, and maintain the general intent and purpose of the official plan. The zoning bylaw defines the front yard as a yard extending across the full width of the lot between the front property line and the nearest part of the main building or structure on the lot. This definition itself does not permit any accessory structures, this definition, in addition with section 3.1 of the zoning bylaw, does not permit accessory structures to be located between the dwelling and the front property line on any residential zone property. The proposed building is to be located 67 meters from the front property line. The relief requested to locate the structure in the defined front yard is determined to be minor in nature by staff, as the location significantly exceeds the 15-meter front yard setback typically required by the state residential zone for many structures. The proposed development is appropriate for the subject property, as accessory buildings and structures are permitted in all zones. The scope of the proposal aligns with the purpose and regulations of the rule of the state residential zone. Staff are of the opinion that the general intent of the zoning bylaw and the plan are met. Regarding referral comments, staff have received no concerns from any internal departments or external agencies. Additionally, as of 4 p.m. today, staff have not received any objections from the public. Therefore, staff are recommending that the committee receive the report and approve the variance as presented. That concludes that.
Thank you, Nicole.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
Can you tell me between, I believe there's a 1,900 square foot home and the additional 1,800 square foot garage, can you tell me what the lot coverage is going to be?
The proposed lot coverage, I don't have the exact number for lot coverage, but it is under the
Under the
required
requirement?
15% required by the state residential.
Perfect, thank you.
Related question.
Sure.
The size of the existing structure is listed on the application is 75 feet by 50 feet for 1,900 square feet. 75 by 50 is actually close to 4,000 square feet. So that would change how much coverage there is, right?
That's the house, not the garage.
It has dimensions, 75 by 50, and says total area 1,900. So I just did match, and 75 times 50 is 3,000 and change, right?
Sure.
3,750.
That's the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get some clarification.
But the house is twice the size of it. Sorry, didn't change their
Yeah,
lot
the
coverage.
lot coverage, exactly.
And the lot is smaller than what was in the application.
Yeah, I was confused by that.
Yeah. And he said 1.5. Yeah, so I need some, also, if you could clarify the area of the property in question. There's the discrepancy.
You would next, Mr. Eno.
So I have on the application here, that says it is an 1,800 square foot structure
Being proposed, yes.
being proposed.
Yeah.
Yes.
But the application also has a current structure of a house listed as 1,900 square feet, but 75 by 50, which is 3,750 square feet. So I just want to know if the existing structure, and perhaps Mr. Pino can help us with this, if the existing structure is 1,900 square feet or 3,750 as
Okay.
the dimensions would apply.
I might turn it over to the applicant.
Yeah, the house is just a tiny bit over 1,900 square feet, and then there's a garage. So those measurements that you got, the 75 by 50, is from Google, looking at if the whole thing was square. But the house itself is just a little bit over 1,900, and then a two-car garage attached to it. So probably 2,400 total square feet. And just one comment, Michael, you actually listed 1.68 or 1.69 acres. It's actually 2.37, I believe.
Yeah,
Is it-
that's what the application, so
Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Pino.
Okay, thanks for the.
So then factoring in the additional square footage of the garage, are we still in line with lot coverage? That's where that came from.
Let me just run those numbers really quick. I will.
Thank you for.
And sorry, Michael, can you one more time confirm the acreage of the parcel? 2 point,
3.7.
thank you. Okay, so from a quick calculation under pressure, I have that the lot coverage proposed with the new dwelling is sitting at 3.7%, whereas the lot coverage requirement is 50%. So they're well under the proposed or the required minimum lot coverage.
Any other questions for the planner at this time?
We've had no comments or objections from neighboring homes. There only appears to be one in the vicinity, but
Yeah, so far, our staff have not received any comments at this time. The only comments we received were from the CRCA, which indicated no concerns, and then
Yes.
from our new fire chief, which also indicated no concerns.
So at this point, we'd like to ask Mr. Pino, the applicant, if you would like to identify yourselves or speak or any other information you would like to provide on the application for us.
I guess I'll give you a background. It's a storage garage for snowmobiles, ATVs. It's actually being designed. So David and Abel designed it to match the house. So from an aesthetic standpoint, it's got the same look, even up to the dormer. So single story, slab on grade, because it's bedrock in that location. 90 degrees to the existing house, and same decorative features, same vinyl siding, same brick facade, same brown roof, even up to the dormer. So it's meant to complement the property, and it's really the only spot on the property where it's actually level. I'm sort of limited in terms of where I can actually place this building. I have no side yard, and I can't build in the backyard because it's all part of the Cataraqui watershed.
Okay. Does anybody have any additional specific questions for Mr. Pino? Okay, so thank you again, Mr. Pino. I would like to take a moment to check if there's anyone from the public who would like to speak on the application after identifying themselves. I don't see anyone. There's only a couple in the room and I know they're not. Okay, so this is up to us, the committee members now, to chat, make some statements of opinion and go from there. So maybe James, I'll ask you for your thoughts first.
Well, I went by the property and Mr. Pino was very correct. There's not a lot of place to build this shed. And he's hand tied as to where it can go. So, and I have no issues with this at all. It seems to make sense. And where else you can put? I don't have anything else to add other than I don't have a problem with this.
Thank you. Holly, do you have any?
Yeah, same. I basically agree with everything that James said. Having been over there, there is absolutely nowhere else on that lot that he could build a garage. If it were in breach of the lot coverage, I would be far more concerned, but it's not. And again, we have the issue over and over and over in this area of the regulations about front yard accessory buildings, when really people there have no choice, and it is the better place for it. I think particularly in this case, with the topography of the lot, you will never see it from the road. The only possible perspective is there one neighbor, maybe in the winter, who also has a garage in his front yard. So no, I don't have a problem with this. And I think it meets all the four tests.
Thank you, Holly. We have a member joining us by Zoom. Brian, do you have any comments or feedback you might like to provide?
Based on the physical attributes of the property, the comments received from the fire, no negative comments from the fire chief, from the CRCA, the general okay by the planning department. No, I have nothing further to add. I think we can proceed with a positive outlook for this.
Thank you, Brian. I can echo the same statements of the other committee members. When I drove by, it seems obvious to me that there is not really any option. And again, the neighbor has a similar obvious variance in place.
Smaller, but
So it's very understandable, and I think it's a minor variance that's definitely desirable for the development of the property. And we are not going against the zoning bylaw or the official plan, so I'm also strongly in favor of the application. So perhaps I will make a motion myself. Can I do that as the chair? Or does someone? Sure.
Yes.
I would make a motion that that the committee goes ahead to grant the application in its current form. All in favor? Brian?
Agreed.
Thank you. So then the decision of the committee is to grant the application. So I would like to take a moment to ask if there is any other business from anyone in the room at this time before we move forward with finishing up our agenda.
I believe so.
I don't see any takers. So our next meeting date is currently scheduled for Thursday, March 28th, 2024 at 4 p.m. We do have a public question period, but I believe there are nobody else in attendance. So with that, we can move to adjourn this meeting. Thank you everyone for today. Congratulations, Mr. Pino. I hope your garage works out well for all your toys.
Thank you. One quick question. Your sign, that yellow sign, do I just discard it, or are you coming back to get it? Or do I drop it off somewhere? The notice, there was a notice sign placed on the property?
Yes, I will pick it up.
Okay, perfect.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So meeting adjourned.